What's good, y'all? What's good? Canelo Alvarez and Jamel Charlo throw down last weekend, and it was a very unpleasant fight. The fight was terrible. Jamel Charlo, you could say he laid down. I mean, in the first round, he was doing a whole bunch of unnecessary movement, like he didn't want to be in there, and his defense was kind of on point, you would say, because he tried to survive. I mean, just from the first round on the whole fight, Canelo Alvarez was throwing these single shots, single power shots all night. He was able to load up. He was able to do whatever he wanted to Charlo. It just a lot didn't land clean because, Charlo was just running around with his guard up. At some points of the fight, he was throwing punches, but it just wasn't enough to really win rounds. It was debatable that he won the fifth round. What's good, Jared? Yeah, Charlo got his ass kicked. And I think the weight had a lot to do with it because even when Jamel Charlo did land flush, land clean, it didn't really do nothing to Canelo. Canelo just kept coming forward. In order to win this fight, I thought that Charlo would have had to do a mixture of both boxing and coming forward, but he just never came forward like that. He never really like stood his ground. You know what I mean? Like his jab was real ineffective. Uh, it was just pretty much a waste of time, waste of $90. You know, this fight here makes me don't want to buy no more pay-per-views. I can't lie. Because originally I had it a 60-40 fight. I always felt like Canelo would win. But, you know, when they got in there, it looked like a 95-5 fight. Like he just wanted nothing to do with Canelo. That was just crazy. I never thought Jamel Charlo would look like this in any fight against any bigger guy because Jamel Charlo showed that he had dog. Yeah, Jared, it was a real boring fight because it was just too one-sided, and the weight was affecting him. And I can't lie, that shit makes me don't want to see Bud move up 3 weight classes to fight Canelo because if Jamel Charlo is a bigger puncher than Bud as far as single shot power, and if Canelo didn't feel those punches, what make you think he gonna feel Bud's punches? I mean, Bud has better punch placement, but as far as landing clean, I think Charlo has more power, and of course, he's a bigger man, so it just took all the luster out of the Bud Canelo fight. But I see a lot of people still calling for that fight, and Bud would have to move up 21 pounds. Canelo, he's not going to come down to 167 for Bud. Bud is a huge threat. So Canelo's not going to do him no favors. So he would have to go all the way up. And I just, you don't see hardly nobody jumping up 3 weight classes for one fight with no tune-up or nothing like that. Bud has talent, but I don't really give him much of a chance at all as far as beating him in 12 rounds. His knockout streak definitely coming to an end if he fight Canelo because Canelo, he's 3 weight classes up and he has a granite chin. Canelo has a great chin. He can take a punch from pretty much anybody that he's got in the ring with. So it's pretty much a waste of time. But it will be a more entertaining fight because Bud ain't gonna lay down for nobody. So he's gonna let his hands go. at points in the fight, but I think that's just gonna get him knocked out. Because Canelo, he's also a good counter puncher too, just like Bud. Bud's a better counter puncher, but Canelo can do that too. So he just pretty much just overmatched when it comes to weight. And I'm not really with the fantasy fight shit. But like I say, it's a lot of people calling for the fight that believe in Bud. So I mean, yeah, I give it to Canelo. He's one of the best fighters out there. But he's got to prove that, against real 168 pounders, top contenders like David Morrell and David Benavidez. Benavidez in a tough matchup this weekend. I mean, not this weekend, but next month versus Demetrius Andrade. I would favor him in that fight, but that fight is real close, kind of 50-50. I just favor Benavidez because I think he'll have the quicker hands. He's the bigger man, natural 168 pounder. Demetrius Andrade coming up one weight class, and Demetrius Andrade doesn't have a great gas tank. So I would favor Benavidez in that fight. Like 55-45, because the style of Demetrius Andrade can give him problems. Like we've seen Caleb Plant win the first 5-6 rounds against Benavidez. And I feel like Demetrius Andrade has more tools up his sleeve. So he possibly can get the 7 rounds. And plus, I think the politics is more on David Benavidez's side. On David Benavidez's side in that matchup because, him and Canelo is the big dance. So if it's anywhere close, I think Benavidez would get that decision. But Charlo, man, Charlo really let me down. And plenty other people. There's people that say that they don't want to see another Jermell Charlo fight at all anymore. Like it's over for Charlo. He lost fans, but he gained bands. He got paid the millions to get in there with Canelo. Hopefully it was worth it for him. Because even Jamal Charlo saying that their kids are getting hounded in school. They clowning them about how Jermell looked against Canelo. So I hope that money was worth all that humiliation. I never thought Canelo would knock him out anyway, but I thought Jermell would let his hands go more. Like that looked embarrassing. You can't be doing all that. Yeah, he fought scared. And he was at a real power disadvantage. I give him that. But still, like, he could have thrown some more punches though, bro. Like some more power punches. His hardest punches that he landed, it looked like it ain't had no effect anyway. But I see why these dudes be needing these catch weights and all this stuff like that. Don't nobody just jump up 2 weight classes, go straight after the champion with no tune-up. I just knew it was all wrong for Canelo. I meant for Charlo. So I was kind of being nice saying it was 60-40. But I just didn't know it would look like that. You feel me? But Charlo, he's talking about moving back down 2 weight divisions to back to his weight class where he was undisputed champion. Now he a 3-belt champion because he got stripped for the WBO title for fighting Canelo instead of Tim Tszyu when he got ordered to fight Tim Tszyu for the WBO belt. So now he got 3 belts. And, you know, Charlo got to bounce back. Charlo got to bounce back. Hold on, Jared. There you go. But yeah, I think, I don't even know. I mean, if he do a tune-up, ain't nobody gonna watch it. But he got to go after Tim Zoo. Tim Zoo been talking all the shit, and he been calling Charlo a cub since before this performance, and he never thought he had a shot anyway. So I think he should go try to shut him up.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm trying to remove the background.
Okay.
Here we go.
What's good, Sean Pack?
What's going on?
Look, man, that was not good, man. Like that just look, you can't when you're in sports and you're in big events, man, you can't play scared, bro. And I understand that. Like he was trying not to get knocked out and he just wanted to play it safe. Cause like sometimes when you're like a underdog, you want to play it safe sometimes and kind of pick your spots, but you just in boxing you just can't do that. Like you gotta at some point just say, you know what, let me just throw a punch or two, man. Like remember when I was talking about, like, I forget the guy's name, I think his name was like Cruz or something like that, where I said like sometimes as a fighter you just gotta be willing sometimes to just not throw wildly. I'm not saying that, but you can't go the way that Charlo did, bro. You can't, like, and I get it, like, because you were talking about how like you can't just throw wild, but like you can't go the other way either, where you're just like, being scared and like being too concerned. Like you gotta straddle the fence, bro. You gotta at some point be like, okay, let me not like go crazy, but I gotta at some point just take some shots, man. Like one punch in boxing sometimes is all it takes to just change a fight up, bro. Like you can't be defensive for the entire fight, though, Sean.
Yeah, he was so defensive. Canelo was able to throw the punches how he wanted to do it. He did what he wanted to do, how he wanted to do it.
Right? He just, man, look that, and I
And,
get it. Go ahead. You saying something, Sean Pat?
and Canelo, he was throwing that heat though, man. But it's just that I don't know, man. You gotta keep him off balance so he don't throw punches that hard. You gotta keep that jab in his face and then have something behind it. But Charlo was just scared of that power. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, look, it's one of those things where you just look, man. And again, the term in boxing, like usually you don't say somebody choked in boxing, but you can legitimately say that was a choke just because like he just didn't do anything. Like that's about the closest you're gonna get to a choke in boxing, Sean.
Yep, he looked like many other of Canelo's opponents, just gun shy, trying to survive. Not
Man,
many punches.
I mean, you gotta.
His stock really went down. You know what I mean? Like there's people that say that they don't want to see nothing from him no more. Like they
Look,
they pretty much gave up on his ass.
well, look, I think with him it's starting to be mental though, Sean. Like I really think like certain fighters are just mental, where it's like you just sometimes, and again, I understand like these guys are human, but there are certain times where just mentally they need to just he needs to pick himself back up off the mat, bro. No pun intended.
Yeah, and the punch when he did, you know, get knocked down, it don't even look like that punch landed like that. He was just cornered off, and Canelo was throwing punches back to back, and it looked like he got scared and took a knee. Like It looked like the punch nipped him, but that
Yeah.
was my prediction though. Canelo by decision with a knockdown, but damn, I thought it would be more action than that. I can't lie.
You said you thought it'd be more action.
Yeah, but I did think that Canelo would win a decision with a knockdown because I just thought that Charlo had too much grit and skill. Yeah, he'll
Yeah.
survive but probably lose.
Yeah. I can feel you on that though.
And only if he probably won the fifth round. That's only one round out of 12. I thought it would be like a Canelo 7-5, 8-4 type of thing. You know what I mean? Or Jamel probably 7-5. Get robbed because if you can't, because any close fight you get with Canelo, you're gonna lose on the cards. So I just thought it would be like a close fight. That's what I thought. But Canelo win. That's what I thought. I guess not. You still there? But now they talking about Jamal. Jamal might get the fight now. That fight ain't gonna sell, man. I mean, this pay-per-view sold like 600, 650, 700K. The fight with Jamal probably will sell less just off the fact of what Jamel did. Plenty of people feel like Jamel's the better fighter. He was the undisputed champ. He has some skill, but I don't know. He looked bad. I mean, I'll watch his fights, but there's plenty of people that's just done with him. But yeah, though, I'ma holla at y'all. I don't know where the hell Jarrett went at, but Canelo's next fight, I would like to see Benavidez Andrade winner.
Hey, can you still hear me?
Yeah, you was out for a minute.
Oh, okay. So yeah, my thing trips out sometimes, but like, so the one of Lamont's like last debates, like he was trying to pick apart like why the '90s were not as great as what they look, and I think like, look, I understand it kind of, but it still does feel like an agenda push though, Sean. Like, and here's what I mean, because every era has flaws to it. Obviously, like there's no perfect era in the NBA. I just think that we got to stop trying to like nitpick it to death. Like, I and here's the thing, like Lamont. One of the things that Lamont he needs to eventually in one of these streams just admit that he's a LeBron fan, because he never really says that he's a LeBron fan really. But
Yeah,
I
he
mean,
don't.
huh?
I say, yeah, he don't.
But like, look, it just, and again, I'm not trying to knock nobody. Like, if you're a LeBron fan, like, who cares? Like, you like who you like, but like, at least just admit that you're a LeBron fan, because when you always, and I mean, this dude is literally always trying to cut down Michael Jordan. He uplifts Scottie Pippen. Like, it's been, I feel like we're kind of in a living embodiment. It, you remember like what Kobe fans used to do when he was still alive? Like, they used to downgrade Shaq and all that stuff.
Yeah, because they say Shaq carried him in the first three rings.
Yeah, so they kind of, Kobe fans, because they were tired of hearing that, they kind of took the opposite route and started cutting down Shaq for his weight, for his free throws, for his defense, even like that. So now what LeBron fans, a lot of them are doing is they'll cut down MJ, they'll lift up Pippen, they'll lift up Horace Grant, and a lot of times also what you see LeBron fans doing is that every teammate that, not every, I'm not gonna say every, but a lot of teammates that LeBron has, they'll find a way to cut them down and like hyper exaggerate their flaws and all that stuff. Like, the common narrative that LeBron fans use is that the players that LeBron played with never won anything with the exception of Wade. But I still don't feel like that really applies just because you're talking about guys as number one options. Like they don't have to do the same thing as number two or threes or whatever that they did in like their current spot. And even if you want to take that approach, like you also have to do it in the other way, Sean Pack. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear you.
Your mic was low, Sean.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah. But like, I just don't get why people don't like put it in the opposite way and ask like what LeBron won without the players that he played with, though, Sean. Like that, wouldn't that be fair?
You saying you don't think he would have won if he didn't play
Well,
with
no,
the All Stars he played with?
but what I'm saying is, I'm not saying like he possibly couldn't have. What I'm saying is like, I don't get why people on the other side don't flip the question and ask like what LeBron did or would have won without the guys that people always cut down. Like, because to me, if you're gonna say like those players never won without LeBron, we at some point have to ask the question like what LeBron won without them. Like it has to be like a 50-50, bro.
Yeah, it's a team sport. The best player in basketball is like the quarterback in football. Like they get all the credit and they get all the blame.
Yeah,
So
true that.
people know damn well he wouldn't have won without Wade and Bosh and all them and
Yeah,
AD, and it's just a team thing. You're gonna need somebody, especially in this era.
exactly.
All these super teams around and
Yeah,
stuff.
but the thing is, this is what, and again, I get it, but like this is what gets frustrating, like listening to like LeBron fans. And again, I'm saying this as a guy who actually is myself a LeBron fan, but I, I'm not a LeBron fan to the point where I'm just gonna always like cut down everybody play because it's not necessary. Like, and again, look, even if you're on a super team, it don't matter. Like, if you're a legend, if you're great, that's gonna show no matter who you play with. So I don't get the point of like knocking down the team. Like, it doesn't help. If anything, I feel like it makes people on the other side come at LeBron, and a lot of it is not his fault. Like, that's what's unfortunate. Like, LeBron's like fans, like, and I'm talking about like the guys that not like me, but like the guys who like go above and beyond and just cut down teams. Like that's why people go at LeBron because people are tired of like people on LeBron's side having to just cut down everybody and just say like, hey, they weren't shit without LeBron. Like all that stuff. Like when they get to that point, that's why people come hard at him, and it's not for LeBron, like because it's not his fault. Like he can't control his fan base. Like, but it just LeBron fans sometimes just have to just like calm down, take a chill pill, and just accept that like he may not be the GOAT, but come on, man. Like he's still a legend. Like that's the whole thing. Like this GOAT debate has ruined the sports talk in general, Sean. It really has.
Hmm. To the point where you can't appreciate what nobody does unless they won the championship.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate part, man. Like it's just it,
Oh, I seen a post about what Stephen A said about LeBron, and I don't know, man. I kind of feel the same way. Like, 5 of his 6 losses really wasn't on him.
oh no, I agree.
Yeah, I do. I mean, I do kind of agree with that. Besides that 2011,
Yeah,
I
well, that
do
was
feel like they lost to better teams.
right.
And to
I
be real, Jordan, when he won his 6, they had the best roster too, as well. You know what I
Right.
mean?
I feel that. I completely feel that, and that's my thing. Look, I am a LeBron fan, so like that is a point that I usually make. Like, and again, look, there are certain losses, like you said, the 2011 loss that was on him because he personally choked out in a way. But like outside of that, man, like look, he was still like putting up LeBron like numbers, but like one player, and this is what I'm trying to get Jordan fans to understand one player is not going to win a championship, bro. Like when people talk about Jordan, they act as if the man did it alone. Like whenever they're talked about, or not they, whenever he's talked about, like to the extreme Jordan fans, it's literally just acting as if he did it. Like they'll say he. Like that's not true. Like he had now obviously everybody has help, but that's my point. Like Jordan and LeBron fans, they're kind of one and the same, to be honest, bro. Like they cut down teammates, they uplift one guy, and they just crap on everybody else. Like no, like we gotta stop it, Sean. Like you get what I mean?
Mm. But like, I don't know, man. I mean, I got MJ still over LeBron, but
Right.
I see why he's in the conversation. Is and like I'll take Jordan's skill set as far as a player too. You know what I mean? But like I say, there's a couple of things LeBron can do to pass him, but I just don't see him doing it. You know what I mean?
What does he have the time?
Yeah, like he gonna have to win again. You know, at least make it 5 and 6, and probably another league MVP. And he's just too old to do that.
He's just his
So
21st year though. I don't think he's gonna do all that. Like it's just he don't got enough time, honestly. I just don't see like I mean look, he's defied logic up to this point, but I mean 20 you basically be talking about him playing to do what you're saying. He would ideally probably have to play like another like 4 years because I don't see him winning a championship and back to back. Like, and this, I just don't see it. Like, because I don't think he's gonna win MVP this year. Obviously, the championship he possibly could do, but like doing both, like I just don't see it. Like, there's just too many guys in their primes right now that I feel like would be able to get MVPs over him. And so the championship would have to be that. But it's too hard, Sean Pack. Like, well, even if he's remembered as a second greatest player of all time, like that's still like a hell of an accomplishment. Like, what
yeah.
player coming into the league that was touted that much can say that they ended up being one of the best three players to ever play the game, though, bro? Like there are rare exceptions to that. Like, I guess you could possibly say Patrick Mahomes, but like we're still like on the fence with that though, because I don't know because obviously you're a Chiefs fan. Like they have not looked good this season, Sean.
Mm-mm. Yeah, we went life and death with the Jets after having a 17-point lead.
Yeah, Mahomes was turning the ball over a lot in that game, bro.
Yeah, stupid interception, Jameis Winston type interception.
Well, he's a
But at the
gunslinger, bro.
same
He's gonna
time,
try.
at
Right.
the same time, that stuff do happen because he do be trying shit. Like he be doing shit like he in madness. Sometimes that shit just don't work out for you.
Right. Man,
You
look,
know what I mean? So he gonna look bad some games. He's a heavy he's a heavy risk taker
yeah,
with the ball.
well, yeah, he is a gambler, bro. Like he's gonna try throws that no human alive should try. That's
Mhm. And them over under, that's why they looked like that, because it was them over under passes.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Over one defender and in front of the other one. That them passes are hard.
yeah. It's just
And
this.
he threw two of them interceptions.
Yeah, those two were those two interceptions were like almost like cartoonish, bro. Like I just love, yeah, and I get it. Like Mahomes is Mahomes, but like even for him, those throws are not a good idea.
Hmm.
Like, well, look, man, they just honestly, man, and again, I understand like people do this, and I get it, but like what he did last year, I don't think it's sustainable for an entire career because essentially what he did last year is win a Super Bowl without a legitimate number one receiver. Like it's even more drastic this year, bro. Like he's gonna have to win without maybe an arguably even number two receiver. Like it's bad, Sean. Like you just can't especially not in this era. Like, and I understand like people, and this is where it gets unfair with him too. Like people like to compare it to what Brady did, but look, man, Brady had those defenses backing him up too, though, Sean. Like we can't forget
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
Like
our defense looking, I ain't gonna say elite, but they look real good. They
who?
look good enough for us still to have a nice run.
I mean, but who's gonna
They
be?
got cooked though a little bit by the Jets, but
Yeah,
they've been all right.
I mean, here's a question I have though, bro. Like, can they hold up long enough? If Mahomes doesn't have the Star Wars like offense that he's had in the past, can that defense be enough to hold up against offenses that just, man, the AFC is loaded with just dynamic talent on the offensive side, Sean. Like it's just, if you don't have a defense in the AFC, it's gonna be hard to win, bro. Like because there's just so many like good offenses and good quarterbacks. Like unless the Chiefs pick it up on offense, I don't. And again, this is a hot take, I know, but like I just can't see them getting back to another Super Bowl unless they pick it up on offense, Sean. Because I just don't think their defense is gonna be able to just keep shutting people out like that, bro.
Mm-hmm. But
You know,
they
you
only
know what I
got
mean?
one loss though. But the Jets and Lions, like we struggle with both of them teams. That don't look good.
Yeah, I just think
And we blew out the Bears. And I forgot the fourth team we had played. But
Jaguars.
oh yeah, the Jaguar, they struggle with them too.
Yeah, it's
Like our schedule hasn't really hit us yet. We
no.
gonna have that stretch of tough teams. We gonna have to play the Dolphins and all them.
I mean, yeah, I mean, obviously they haven't played the Dolphins yet. They haven't played the Bengals yet. They haven't played Buffalo yet. Like all of those teams, and I think they have to play the Niners too, if I recall.
Mm.
Like those are four just murderers row games, Sean. Like it's just look, if they don't start picking it up on offense, so bro, like they could lose at least two of those. Like you got to pick it up, bro.
Mm. So we can't afford to lose to no inferior teams.
No. Well, I mean, I will say they did that last year when they lost to Indy, though. But this is different though, just because last year actually what's weird about last year is that people, and again, this is gonna sound funny just because of how his reputation is now, but people I think really underrated the impact of Juju last year, bro. Like he actually did play well last year. Like I think, and again, I say it sounds funny because people people look at Juju as kind of like a joke now, but he was solid last year, though, especially in the playoffs. Like he made some huge catches last year in the playoffs, Sean.
Hmm. Yeah, I
Like,
give it to them.
like that. And again, I think one of the reasons why, and again, like I said, it's because of his reputation that people really didn't understand like what he was doing last year. But like when it was time, when the money was on the line and people just mobbed Kelsey, like Juju was the guy who made those contested catches, bro.
Hmm.
Like they're gonna at some point need to find another like reliable because basically what they have, they're essentially playing an offense with Travis Kelsey and essentially a bunch of slot receivers, bro. Like they don't really to me have like that one like reliable possession receiver outside of a Kelsey. Like they're gonna need to find that, bro.
Yeah. They've been using Noah Gray too, the other tight end. They've
Yeah,
been getting him more involved, but I don't think they have no choice.
yeah. I mean, look, I think I really think this is gonna be a really big test for Patrick Mahomes. Like he's gonna have to really, I don't even know how to put this, but like if the term operate miracles is operating here, man, I think he's gonna have to try and do that, bro. Because like with no number one receiver, and again, there are certain teams who have done it, but again, like one guy win you a Super Bowl, Sean Pack?
I don't know. We damn sure gonna try.
I'm trying to
We
figure out
gonna
the
try.
last. I'm trying to figure out the last team that won a Super Bowl where it was basically just the one guy. Because like I said, last year I think people would have thought it was just the one guy, but Juju actually did play well. So one guy and that's it. Because like even when Brady won without Gronk, like he still had other weapons. Like he still had Julian Edelman too, bro. Like they just the one guy. Like I don't think he can win that way.
Hmm. Yeah, they had that defense though.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Like it's just too tough, Sean. Like, look, if Patrick Mahomes, and again, I understand like this is not going to be a popular opinion just because like people hold him to GOAT standards, but like if they could just get at least to the AFC title game, even if they lose to like a Buffalo or Cincinnati, that still to me is a hell of a season, though, bro. Considering what Mahomes is working with, man.
Yeah, I think the Bills will finally be able to beat us in the playoffs. We see them. They just blew out the Dolphins last week.
Yeah, Vaughn is coming back in a couple weeks, bro. Like at least from what I'm seeing, like, but Von Miller will be back, and he's exactly what the Buffalo Bills need, though. A guy who can make that final clutch stop on a Mahomes or a Burrow or somebody like that. Like he's one of the. I would compare him almost to like a Mariano Rivera in baseball, bro. Like he's the guy that comes in to close the game.
Yeah, our tough teams we got to play is the Chargers always give us a run. They just always shoot themselves in the foot.
Yeah,
We got to play the Dolphins, the Eagles, the Bills, or the Bengals. They ain't been doing nothing this year. And the
well,
Chargers
but
again
here,
twice, of course.
but here's the deceiving thing about the Bengals, though, bro. Like this is why I say it's still gonna be a tough game because the Chiefs played them so late that like by that time they may have gotten it together though.
Mm,
Because I think they play them in like what week 16, 17? Like they play them
yeah,
like
week
really late.
16.
Yeah, they play them like really late. So yeah, by that time you would think that the Bengals have a role in the end, bro. Like I just don't see them having. I just don't see seeing them with the skill that they have. I just don't see them like staying this bad for that long. Like by that point they'll be looking more like the Bengals, Sean.
Yeah, they got a chemistry issue. I'm trying to look up what the hell happened to them. I had made a post. Well, shared a post about them.
Right.
Yeah, it says Jamar Chase has reportedly requested a trade from the team after a scuffle with Zach Taylor. I ain't never hear about him requesting a trade. I thought I'd hear about that, but
Well,
they saying he in there blowing up on people. That's one of their best players.
he's not
Joe
getting the.
Burrow, he's been playing hurt and he ain't been looking good. He been having like some of the worst stats for a starting QB.
Well,
You know,
he's not getting the ball enough. Is why Jamar is upset. Like he just.
and you remember Joe Burrow first year, he tore his knee up. He tore his knee all the way up.
Yeah, ACL. Like it's not good.
He has ACL and PCL or something like that. Two of them.
Right. That's why he wears a knee brace, man. Like, look, I think for the Chiefs, what they really need to do is they need to just look in the mirror and say, look, we have a great team, but I think this is the type of season that I actually think could help the Chiefs, largely because like there are your guys like a Nick Wright who believe that like Mahomes will be the GOAT and like the Chiefs will be the next dynasty, but there are sometimes seasons like this that can help, and not necessarily humbling the team because I don't think they're like that. But sometimes this is a good thing for a team like the Chiefs because it helps humble things and put them in perspective, bro. Like it's just not as easy as what teams like the Patriots made it look, Sean.
Yeah, it just looked like we one of them teams that's like a piece or two away. You
Right.
know, I ain't gonna lie, man. We get one of those big athletic receivers, like a top 10, 15 receiver in the league, and
Yeah.
we good.
Yeah.
But those guys be wanting to get paid, man.
Yeah. That's the thing.
Those guys be wanting 25 million a year. Like that receiver money really went up over the years.
Well, I mean, you got to think about it though, bro.
And we
Like,
ain't letting go Travis Kelsey for nobody.
right. You
So we
can't.
gotta keep him paid. Chris Jones. Like it's just certain pieces that we just can't get rid of for nobody.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you gotta. Hopefully in the draft, and again, Brett Beach is good at this, but like, here's my question, and it's probably an unfair question, but is it possible that the Chiefs could find another Tyreek Hill in the draft?
Yeah, I mean they always go after quick receivers. Like all our receivers right now, they fast, but You need a possession guy. Like Travis Kelsey, he's a tight end. Like we can't. Like that's really not sustainable. Him being our number one receiver all damn day every day. You know what I mean?
Well, and that's why I
Because
said like
people are double or triple his ass, and he can make catches through double teams, but still, like we need more options as far as
was
the passing game.
that's but that's why I said like it's unfair like what the fans and stuff like not only compare but expect because like look we have to first understand that like one of the narratives that people put out there that's a half truth. People like to always say that like the like Brady did it with like spare parts and all that, and even when they bring up Gronk and all that, like it wasn't just Gronk. They did have Edelman. Like if you double team Gronk, which happened a lot, like he got mobbed. Like Edelman would be that guy that just not only was like he wasn't necessarily fast, but he was quick and he was very powerful. Like he was a very like powerful guy, and I
Yeah,
think
he was good at contested catches. He
yeah,
was good
I
to be
mean
like a last round pick or something like what he
yeah,
was.
he was a seventh round pick, and one of the reasons why he fell was just because of the stuff I was saying. Like he's not only not fast, he's also short. Like so people
I
look
think
at him
he
like
played quarterback before too, didn't he?
Kent State. Yeah, he played
Yeah,
quarterback.
he was one of those dudes that they made him line up at receiver to go to the NFL.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, because I mean, you look at a guy like Julian Edelman, like, and this was before Russell Wilson got drafted. So at that time, a guy Edelman's height was not going to play quarterback because he was only what like 5'9", 5'10".
Yeah.
Yeah, like guys like that were not going to play quarterback at the time because like I said, Russell Wilson came the year after Julian Edelman, so like there wasn't.
Yeah, he is a little too short for quarterback. These
Yeah,
quarterbacks be 6'2", 6'3".
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of look, and I will say this. So Sean Pack, like I'm actually about to head out, but I'll give you one more point though, Sean. Like, do do you ever get tired of like the toxicity in the NBA community?
Yeah, it's always gonna be there.
It's just like these takes and this like how we analyze players now is just it's just bad. Like, what's the word? Not only is it bad faith, but it's just like awful. Like people, this I have literally heard, and this is not an exaggeration, but I've literally heard people say that LeBron James is the biggest choker in NBA history. Like we hear just wild, like blatantly false take. Like it's just not
No, not
true.
really.
I
Not
mean,
really. Because I'm not gonna lie, man. Like he's not supposed to have 10 rings. I know he's been in finals 10 times, but
right?
so sometimes just getting to the finals for him with the team he had, that was the accomplishment. Like that
Yeah.
team, them teams weren't beating that opposition he was facing in the finals.
Right. It's
Like
just
he really wasn't even supposed to beat the Spurs the first time, to be honest.
yeah, it wasn't like it just
Like
I don't know.
he
Like
won
just
as an underdog.
yeah, it was against the Warriors. But like the thing is though, this is what I don't understand.
Yeah, he wasn't even supposed to win that one either. Like,
Yeah.
you gotta give people credit for shit like that.
Well, because
Like people sometimes people is not supposed to win. You know what I mean?
well, like it's just because like that.
Yeah,
It's
that
just
3-1, that was horrible, man. Curry could have had 5 rings right now, tied Magic Johnson. That was horrible.
yeah. The thing is, this is I just hate the takes that are just rooted in just like hyperbole though, because like to say a man is the biggest choker in NBA, like do people understand like what that actually means? Like I don't think people understand actually what that word even
Choking
means.
is when you're a huge favorite
Exactly.
and
Like
you go out there and probably get blown out yourself when you're supposed to blow them out.
yeah,
Like
this is
that's choking.
like that people just bro they use that word they use it so like like or not misproperly. I'm sorry, they use it improperly. Like they don't use the word in its because the proper context of what a choke is just like what you said. Like when you're a favorite and you just gag it like crazy. Like But not
And to be honest, bro, like that shit upsets are really hard to come by in the NBA because it's a 7 game series. You got to beat those guys 4 times.
right, right.
So it's hard to choke in the NBA because you got to, prove that you better. Like I don't like to talk down on Kobe because Kobe dead and he a legend, but the Pistons they lost 4-1.
Yeah,
Like
that was
that's a big choke right there. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah, man.
And I think Kobe lost one other time when he was supposed to win, but like I don't think he was supposed to beat the Celtics either of those times. He won as an underdog too, but
yeah. Oh man, it's just one of those situations that we don't use stuff in proper context and we don't give guys enough credit. Like it
if I
just
was to pick out the biggest chokers in the NBA right now, I would say the Celtics, man, because like
right. I agree with that.
it was plenty of times they were supposed to win and they
Yeah,
lost. Like even at the Warriors, they were supposed to beat them. They had the formula.
they
It
did.
was up 2-1, and they all them turnovers and shit. That was a big choke right there.
I mean, I
Like
will
I
say
know it's Curry and all, but let's keep it real, bro. They were supposed to win that series.
no. I feel you. Like it just the thing is on, and I'm glad you said that. It's a good thing we don't have Shooter King in here, bro. Like he would literally just be going off though,
They
bro.
lost to the Heat one time when they weren't supposed to lose to the Heat.
Right. It's
Uh, it was another time. I think one time they were supposed to beat Milwaukee and lost to them.
yeah. It's just it's not good though, bro. Like and I think, like I said, man, it's just
They were
we got
supposed Tatum and Brown been supposed to have a ring.
exactly. Yeah.
But I'm not gonna lie though, like I wouldn't blow them up though. If I like owned the Celtics, I wouldn't blow it up.
No, no, not blow it up
They
now.
still in their prime, so
Yeah,
I just keep trying at it. But
they just
if
gotta
they
get
don't
better.
win the ring, that's on them.
Yeah.
It's on the players because they've had the formula about 3-4 times.
Yeah. Hey man, salute to you, Sean Pack.
Yeah, salute, man. Appreciate you jumping on, bro.
Hey man, no problem, fam.
Be safe out there.
Yeah, you too, man.
Yeah.